I'm Molly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to Folks Forever, a Lois and Clark rewatch podcast.
We're three fans who've been loving LNC since 1993.
Each week we'll recap one episode and talk about at least one LNC related topic.
If you would like to learn more about who we are, how we became folks, and or how we became friends, check out our intro episode.
Today we're going to be discussing Season 2, Episode 5, Church of Metropolis. We'll also be bringing you a bio on Lane Smith, Lois and Clark's unforgettable Perry White. So Julie has made an interesting acquisition of late. It appeared to be, she thought, a mere tablecloth with Daily Planet printed on it, used in perhaps craft services or a celebration. However, tell us, Julie, what have you concluded about this very unusual prop?
I believe I have solved the mystery. Possibly. I thought it was just a tablecloth because they weren't really sure what it was, other than it's tablecloth material and 15 foot long. But when I was watching an episode, in the credits, there's newspapers flying by on, a printing press or whatever that is. I believe that's what it is because I have slowed down the credits as slow as I possibly could, screenshots. It really looks like my tablecloth because it has 4 newspapers next to each other, repeated 15 foot long. And it makes sense that that could be it because I don't think anybody used a 15-foot tablecloth for craft
why would
services. I think
the effort for craft services, yeah.
I think it's from the credits. That's what I believe because it looks just like that. So I think I've solved the mystery.
Because it explains how they did that shot and they found some machinery and whizzed it around a few times.
Yeah.
And, hey. Church of Metropolis first aired on October 23rd, 1994. I haven't taken us on a depress fest in a while, so I thought today, why not? Let's talk about celebrities who died in 1994.
Oh,
okay.
I know. Last season we mentioned actor and comedian John Candy. This year, in 1994, we also said goodbye to musician Kurt Cobain, socialite and former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, former U.S. President Richard Nixon, comics legend Jack Kirby, Olympian Wilma Rudolph, writers Ralph Ellison and Elizabeth George Spear, illustrator Richard Scarry, composer Henry Mancini, and many actors, including Raul Julia, Jessica Tandy, Pat Buttram, who did the voices of the Sheriff of Nottingham in Disney's Robin Hood, also The Fox and the Hound and The Rescuers, Dub Taylor, Burt Lancaster, Joseph Cotton, Peter Cushing, Harriet Nelson, and Hal Smith, who provided voices for Mickey's Christmas Carol, An American Tail, and Beauty and the Beast. So between those two and Richard Scarry, one of my favorite illustrators, childhood icons, 1994,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you?
that is, yeah.
And that is that.
Yeah, Jessica Tandy was awesome too. Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah. Raul Julia actually passed away a day after this episode aired. And I remember that was Anne Gomez. That's all I knew him from, really, but
Gomez. Church of Metropolis was written by John McNamara, who wrote Wall of Sound earlier this season. It was directed by executive producer Robert Singer, who directed just one other episode, and that was Smart Kids.
every LNC episode had a title. Church of Metropolis is pretty basic. Church refers to the episode's main bad guy, Bill Church, and Church of insert place name here is a common phrase, i.e. Church of England. So that's pretty much that. Kind of boring, if you ask me.
All right.
Thank you, Thank you for bringing your opinion to the table.
During the first 2 seasons, before the episode titles were known to the general public, we had to make up our own fake titles so that we could label our VHS tapes. My fake title for this episode was simply Intergang.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know why why my title was so wordy, but this is what was written on my tape. Crime group targets Lois slash prosecutor, lusts for Clark but despises Superman slash Lois plus Superman. And I spelled prosecutor Prosecuter. I think in all the years I watched this, not knowing the real title, I just probably called it Mason's intro. But that was what was written on my tape, so that's what I'm sharing with you.
That is a lot. Were you writing tiny, tiny, tiny?
I don't know. Molly actually shared.
Well,
She has my
she
tape.
only she only put like 2 episodes on each tape, so she had some room.
All
Yeah,
right.
I had
That's
room.
true. I
Why
usually
we're
kept my
already at
titles
tape
pretty
13.
short.
My title was Baby Rage slash Mr. Church. Gotta get them both in there.
The
Okay.
most exciting parts of the episode, Baby Rage and Bill Church.
Sure.
I'd be like, pass.
Okay.
No, thank you. I will not be watching this
No,
one today.
no mention of Mason. Nothing.
Nope.
All
Yeah.
right.
Before we get into our more detailed discussion of Church of Metropolis, we'll be giving our very own summaries in 16 words or less. And mine is Intergang comes to town and we meet Mayson Drake, a possible love interest for Clark.
No.
Nice.
We don't want that.
I know.
Julie, what about you?
All right. And mine is things get complicated when a woman shows interest in Clark. Oh, and some intergang stuff happens.
Yep.
Who
Exactly.
cares about that part?
Who cares about inner gang? But you know. All right. Mine is, are you ready? Crime group targets Lois slash prosecutor less for Clark, but despises Superman.
I like it.
Why change a good
Awesome.
thing?
How many
I
words
had
is
to
that?
take
Yeah.
out I had to take out Lois plus Superman because it went over 16. But
To quote Lex,
forgive me.
why tamper
Oh
with
my.
greatness?
Exactly.
Yes.
So, of course, we all watched these episodes when they first aired, and we may or may not have any memories of our first time watching them, but I have a few. This was one of those episodes where a VCR snafu caused the pre-credit sequence and the theme song to be missing from my VHS copy. And I don't know if it's because we got home late from church or I hit record or the VCR didn't start recording at the right time. But my episode started with Lois saying, all that crime out there, and what do we got in here? A donut commercial. Here's what's funny. I never noticed. I thought that's where the episode just started. I
Oh
was like,
wow.
okay, interesting. But okay, here we go. This is the episode. It wasn't until, and this is the bad part, after the rerun aired, I was like, oh shoot. So I did not see the entire episode in its full version until it went on TNT.
Yeah.
That is one memory. And I also remember my brother and I being very amused by Jonathan's pie line, which was so random, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
It is the best. So funny. The biggest memories that I really have about this episode is just Mason, really. I remember when she showed up that I remembered her from Wings because I really liked the show Wings at the time as well. And she was great on that show. So that's really honestly the only thing I can remember is, oh, I know this girl.
Wait.
How about you, Jen?
I don't remember a whole lot. Just thinking, why are they bringing in this biatch? She's gonna get in the way of Lois and Clark. But I mean, hi little girl Jen. That's like the whole idea. So if I could talk to my little girl self, I'd pat her on the head and just say, there. Everything's gonna be okay. That's all I
I really
remember.
liked, yeah, I like Mason. I think I
Mhm.
didn't realize how much I liked her until she comes back in like The Eyes Have It. I remember when we saw the preview for that thinking, "Oh my gosh, it's her." And I was happy. So I guess I liked Mason at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, same. She didn't really bother me in this first episode, and maybe that's because we're kind of used to one-off characters, like, oh, we'll never see this person again. And then when she does reappear, it's like, oh, She's back. Okay.
I I just remember being nervous because I was like, why? I mean, I liked that we were seeing a side of Lois, getting a little jealous, but I was also nervous. Like, she could be a problem.
Tell us about the guest stars for this episode, please.
Of course, we have Bruce White. He played Martin Snell. He is best known for Hill Street Blues, General Hospital, Half Past Dead, and Deep Impact. He was also the voice of Bruno in Ugly. He was Mannheim in Superman, the animated series, for 4 episodes in the late 90s. We also have Farrah Forkey. She played Mayson Drake. She is best known for Heat, Wings, as Julie mentioned, and Disclosure. She was actually only in 4 episodes of Lois and Clark, which blows my mind because to me she was such an integral part of season 2. And sadly, Farrah passed away in 2022. Dick Miller played Mike Lane. He was in The Terminator, Gremlins, and The Burbs. And he also did a number of voiceover jobs, including Justice League Unlimited.
Julie, did you recognize him when this episode came on?
Yeah.
Sounds like he was in
Yes,
some of your movies.
I
Gremlins.
did. I love Gremlins and the Burbs. Both are great.
Peter Boyle played Bill Church, best known for Are You Ready? Everybody Loves Raymond, Red Heat, and The Shadow. I personally remember him best in While You Were Sleeping. He was so charming in that movie. He played James, quote, Jimmy Malone in Superman 50th Anniversary. And he's in 2 episodes of Lois and Clark, this one and season 3, episode 1. We have a lot to talk about.
He was also in Young Frankenstein. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to watch that.
He has
That's
been
great.
in a lot. I could have sat here and listed off a number.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys have seen While You Were Sleeping, right?
Yeah, I just don't remember he was in it.
Oh, he's
That's a
freaking
great one.
amazing. He's so good. Dwayne Barnes played Baby Rach. He was in Menace to Society and was in an episode of NCIS Los Angeles and Grey's Anatomy. And finally, we have Michael Holden, who played Judge Lance A. Davis. He was in The Green Hornet, Time Cop, and No Strings Attached. He did 2 episodes of Desperate Housewives, a few episodes of 24, Family Law, and an episode of The West Wing. And he also did 2 episodes of Lois and Clark. The other one was season 4, episode 17, Faster Than a Speeding Vixen, where he played detective.
The episode begins in front of the Americana Cafe, where an older gentleman is bringing out 2 desserts for some customers. He sets them down on a table in front of Lois and Clark. Clark dives right in and thinks the tort tastes amazing. Lois does a little bragging for her uncle, saying Uncle Mike does all the baking himself at this restaurant. Uncle Mike is like, yeah, baking. It's been more of a hobby lately, though, because sadly, and from their ensuing conversation, we learned that the surrounding neighborhood has been really going downhill lately. Apparently, this neighborhood used to be a thriving location, but now a bunch of its buildings are boarded up and the clientele isn't what it used to be. Meanwhile, Clark is still chowing down on his tort. He's wearing that one tie that looks like it has dinosaurs or Loch Ness monsters all over it.
I hate that tie. It is my least favorite one. It's distracting because it looks like little lizards.
And as he's eating, he spills something on his tie. Lois sees this happen and urges Clark to get some water on it, and she reminds him to dab, don't wipe. Call back to Never Ending Battle. Once again,
That
Clark
was
doesn't
Martha.
listen.
But I'm totally okay with him ruining this tie. Just putting that
Yeah,
out
of
there.
all the
Throw it
ties,
out.
this one or the boob tie could go.
Mm-hmm.
So Clark heads into the restaurant, and while he's in the restroom, we see a guy walk by the window holding a black box. Clark and the guy lock eyes. And the guy makes a face at Clark and moves along. Presumably, he enters the restaurant, sets down the box, pushes a few buttons, and skedaddles. A few seconds later, we hear a kaboom! And now the restaurant's on fire. A split second later, Superman arrives and grabs the bomber. Soups uses his freeze breath to put out the fire, then takes the bomber and bends something around the guy's wrist to hold him in place. The man is pissed, saying,
Man, you just stepped over the line. You going down.
You're the only one going anywhere. And I hope for your sake you don't mind showering in groups.
Makes me wonder, when Superman was in jail in Man of Steel bars, how exactly long was he in there? Does he speak from experience?
Maybe.
Just wondering. Anyway.
Now we're all picturing it.
Knowing that he's going to need to be accounted for as Clark, Superman flies off just as Lois and Uncle Mike come around the building's corner and see the bomber. Mike's like, this punk tried to blow up my restaurant. The bomber's ranting.
Can't prove that, man. Can't prove nothing, because nobody saw a thing.
And just then, Clark runs up behind Lois and Mike, saying,
I did.
but Clark, you're missing something. He's not wearing his glasses. And he panics, and then he finds him, and he puts them on and rolls his eyes at himself, like, that was close.
Like,
Baby Rage looks over. Did you see? He looked at Clark. You see him looking at Clark. Like, Baby Rage could have spilled everything and ruined the whole show.
I don't know if you would immediately recognize Clark as Superman just because of without the glasses.
Okay.
We've talked about this, the hair,
yeah.
the clothes.
True.
Plus, Baby Rage is so full of rage. He's not.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just thinking about himself all the time.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, uh-oh.
That was actually not in the script, him forgetting his glasses.
Oh.
So was that added, or did Dean actually forget the glasses and they were like, oh, that's good, and left it?
I've heard that it was a blooper put in, but watching it, I don't think so. It looks too just scripted
real.
enough to have been scripted.
Yeah. I feel like it's probably was an ad that they had him do and wasn't in the script, but I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I thought it was real cute.
I mean, that kind of moment doesn't happen on the show.
It's
I'm glad
flirting
they did it.
with the idea that somebody could find out, like if he's just not careful enough.
Yeah, and that he's a little forgetful sometimes.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they weren't concerned at all that the fact that he was inside that building when the bomb went off and there was a fire and everything.
Seriously.
Like, don't care.
Shades of Barbarians of the Planet when nobody was looking for Clark after the explosion. They're just like,
You should be like, oh my God, Clark is inside there. Nope, nothing. Okay.
Oh, well.
Cool.
She's gonna come out like, ouch, 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 ouch.
Yeah.
Lois reaches into her purse for her cell phone. Yep, I guess Lois now officially has a cell phone, when the plot calls for it anyway, to call the police. Mike tells Lois to get comfortable because the last time he called the police, it took them 2 hours to show up, answer, unclear. Sure enough, Lois tries to report the arson over the phone.
Hi, I'd like to report an arson. This is Lois Lane. They put me on hold.
How rude.
I have
The
hair
bomber's
envy here.
Oh, yeah?
Her hair. It's blowing in the wind. It's really, really, really pretty. It's like, I don't know. It just looked really, really nice. Hair envy.
Yeah, there is a wind effect going on.
Or it's just
I
the
have to
real
say.
wind.
Or it's just the real wind. Maybe it was windy that day.
The bomber's ears perk up.
Lois Lane. You're Lois Lane?
Have we met?
Oh, no, we ain't met. It's just funny because, you're dead. I mean, I know you're walking around and everything, lady, but trust me. Go out and pick yourself a nice grave. And from what I hear, pick it out fast.
Lois and Clark just kind of stare at him as we fade to the theme song. Next, we're in a police station where the bomber is being escorted/handled by some cops, and he's making a huge scene, acting like they're hurting him as they're escorting him. Some cops are walking by talking about donuts, and we see Lois Clark and Uncle Mike standing there taking it all in. Then we see a blonde woman approach the three of them, saying, "Excuse me, is one of you Clark Kent?" Clark confirms one of his identities, and we learn that this woman is Mayson Drake, Deputy District Attorney. She asks if Clark is willing to testify against Baby Rage. It turns out that's the bomber's name. Well, a nickname anyway. Miss Drake addresses Uncle Mike, saying she's sorry about what happened to his restaurant, And Mike replies that they, meaning the bomber and his cronies, would have to do a lot more than that to get me to pull out, hinting that maybe someone's trying to get Mike to close or sell his restaurant. Miss Drake then turns to Lois and says, "And you are?" kind of rudely. Lois gives her name and says that she's the one that called the police. Clark quickly adds that Baby Rage also threatened Lois. Lois brushes this off. "He was just trying to scare me," she says. Miss Drake says, well, now it's her turn to scare him, with Clark's help. Clark tells Miss Drake that he will help. He'll be happy to testify in court. And Miss Drake is happy to hear this, giving him a smile and urging him to call her by her first name. Clark smiles back at Mayson, and Lois is seeing it all.
We're jealous.
Mayson gives Clark her office phone number so he can call and arrange a deposition. Oh, and if you need me during my off hours, here's my home number as well. Lois rolls her eyes at this and mutters, "Subtle."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her face, though. It's like,
Oh, yeah, I love it.
So good.
It's not just jealous face, it's like, I mean, I feel it whenever I see people making goo-goo eyes at each other in public or something. Like, do we have to do this here?
Yeah. Yeah. What am I witnessing?
Other
That
people
kind
are
of
here
thing.
too. Hi.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place, and this is not it. Inside the
Yeah.
police station.
Clark tells Mayson he'll ask Superman to get in touch with her too. Mayson seems pretty unenthusiastic about this. In fact, the very mention of Superman seems to bring a dark cloud over her.
Oh, Superman. Right, I guess I have to talk to him, don't I?
Most people consider that an honor.
Well, I guess I'm not most people. Clark, we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. A possible romantic interest for Clark? A woman who likes Clark, but not Superman? It's like the opposite of Lois in early season 1. Lois bids goodbye to Uncle Mike, and she and Clark go off to investigate why the South Side, that's Uncle Mike's neighborhood, why the police there are slowing down all of a sudden, aka being absolutely useless. As Elle and C head toward the elevators, we hear a buzzing sound, and Lois kind of swishes her hand around as if she's trying to shoo away an insect. Lois begins to tell Clark that their next step is to talk to one of her sources at the commissioner's office. And, ouch, something just bit her arm. A bug? It bit her right through her sleeve, and it hurts. Clark acts mildly concerned as they head into the elevator. He's like, yeah, right? Clark, he's probably never been bitten by a bug, doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, when I get bit by a bug, my husband's like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Let's get the Benadryl and let's get the..."
Oh no.
Because I'll end
He
up
knows
in
you.
the ER.
Yeah.
He knows me. Sometimes bugs can be bad.
All right, in the next scene, we see a big sign that reads Cost Mart, and we hear the voice of Perry White. The camera pans to a makeshift stage where Perry is standing in front of a podium and a few other men are nearby. Perry introduces himself and then introduces one of the other men. This guy is Bill Church, chairman of the Cost Mart discount chain. Bill Church is shuffling through some note cards, looking like he's not used to giving speeches or being around other humans, really. Perry continues, saying that he's happy to announce that the Daily Planet and Cost Mart are co-sponsoring a charity ball to benefit the Urban Redevelopment Fund. Perry then has Bill come up to the mic. I should also mention this is kind of a grand opening ceremony for this Cost Mart, which has just been opened in Metropolis. So Bill says a few words, nothing much, and the crowd claps. We see Jimmy out in the crowd taking photos. In our next scene, a beautiful woman is walking past Jimmy and Perry, while Perry crudely remarks, "Boy, this is a bargain hunter's dream." He then notices Jimmy has not noticed the woman and asks him if there's a girl on his mind. Turns out there is. Her name's Kelly, and she and Jimmy have gone on 2 dates, but Jimmy's not quite sure what to do next. Perry immediately snaps into the persona of a love guru, telling Jimmy that he's basically an expert in the ways of romance and that Jimmy should listen to him.
Don't do it.
I don't think this Jimmy knows about Rahalia. No.
Don't
No.
And
listen to
we're
him.
hearing jungle music. The sound effects are hysterical. It's giving me vibes of Cat's Apartment.
Yes. Completely Cat's Apartment. That is what that is.
That's funny. I didn't make that connection. What is that? Sounds like jungle drums. There it is.
Where are you?
Just in Jimmy's dreams.
As Jimmy and Perry walk off together, we see Bill Church in the background, smiling and shaking hands with some of the Costmart customers. Then we cut to what looks like a bunker. Bill Church is accessing a door that reads air conditioning equipment. And we also hear a woman's voice over a loudspeaker saying, "Attention, Costmart shoppers." So we know we're somewhere inside the Costmart building. This door apparently leads to an elevator, and we see Bill Church traversing several floors while whistling a couple of notes of "Fly Me to the Moon."
Mm-hmm.
The elevator doors open, and Bill steps out into a room with a boardroom table and some chairs, and he sits down. A handful of TV screens pop on, and it's clear that Mr. Church is about to have a video conference call. This is high tech for 1994.
Yes.
We did see last season Lex having a video conference call with that kryptonite salesman guy. So Church asks one of the callers, what's the latest on the election? And he and the other men go back and forth discussing shady dealings, and I won't get into it, but it's crystal clear that Bill Church is not the awkward dope that he appeared to be at the Costmart a little while ago. The elevator doors open again, and out walks a man wearing a suit. Church ends the conference call to talk to this guy, and we learn this man's name is Martin. Martin immediately says to Bill Church, "I know you're upset about Baby Rage." Aha, so now we know that this guy is connected to the arson. Church is indeed angry because although he had wanted the Skins, aka the gang Baby Rage is a part of, to burn down Mike's restaurant, the fact that they did it in daylight and with witnesses around, come on. Martin is apologetic, saying the Skins are a little hard to control, and Bill Church orders Martin to make sure it works. He's going to make it work or just cut him loose. Church goes on to say,
I don't need to tell you that we're at a very crucial point in the Metropolis franchise. We can't afford to be out in the open until Superman is taken care of.
Uh-oh. Martin is happy to report that, about that, the plan has officially gone online. Everything's set as soon as Mr. Church says go. So Mr. Church says go. We cut to Lois and Clark in a kind of a dark alley where they meet a shadowy source of Lois's. This guy basically tells them that the South Side is suffering by design. Someone is trying to ruin it and get people to sell so that they can move in and take over. Plot sound familiar?
Yep.
Didn't Lex do this last season?
Yep.
Tried to do it anyway. It's fine. Lex is gone now. So...
Is he?
No, but they think he is. I think that's why Inner Gang has moved in at this point. They're like, ooh, crime lord gone, here we come. And apparently the police there have been corrupted. Before he departs, this source hands Lois and Clark a floppy disk that he says might help them.
Floppy disk.
Floppy disk.
Are we sure this isn't sore throat?
Yeah. I thought this guy sounds, well, I don't know. It's the same kind of principle, right? Like no one can see him.
Sore throat got some Claritin and went to the allergist and
yeah.
It is very much similar. And but I think she said this was the source she mentioned earlier about seeing a source from the commissioner's office. Yeah. So I think it's a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a different guy, but it's totally the same kind of character.
Same concept, yeah.
Definitely.
But he's not sneezy, so.
Yeah.
Next up, Lois and Clark are at Lois's computer poring over the contents of the disk. They learn that what Metropolis is experiencing is something that has happened to other major cities. They've all been infiltrated by a shady organization that the Australian press nicknamed Intergang. As Lois is reading off stats, Clark's super hearing picks up someone's voice saying, "Superman, I'm contacting you on a hypersonic frequency that only you and a few bats can hear." The voice goes on to say that Superman better be at the Arboretum Duck Pond within 3 minutes, or someone is going to die, followed by a "Mwahahaha."
The evil laugh. Better make sure we know he's the bad guy, so throw in that evil laugh.
Clark quickly gives an excuse that he needs to run an errand, and he hurries off. Lois gives an exasperated sigh and goes back to her research, because Clark's gonna Clark. Superman lands at the Arboretum and meets up with the guy whose voice he heard. It's Martin Snell, the guy who we met earlier at Bill Church's. Martin shows Superman how he achieved the hypersonic voice thing and then tells him that Lois Lane has about 10 seconds to live. So Superman better get to her quick. Supes flies off and Martin instructs someone to lock on the target. We see some guys in a control room taking these orders, and a kind of gun emerges from behind a waterfall structure. And then out comes a bullet. We hear someone saying, "Targeting 2," and another bullet is sent. Meanwhile, Lois is sitting at her desk at the Daily Planet, sipping coffee, completely unbothered, as one of these bullets hurtles towards her. It goes through an open window into the Daily Planet, where, luckily, Superman is there to catch it. Just as Lois is saying, "Superman, what?" the other bullet hits poor little Jimmy straight in the stomach and turns his plaid shirt a ghastly shade of yellow. Turns out that both that and the bullet going after Lois were paint bullets. Superman promises them to take care of things, and he flies off.
I like how he lets Jimmy just get hit. Like, rude.
He didn't know there were 2 bullets.
Didn't see it.
Well, if he would listen carefully.
If he can go to France in like 3 seconds and get, or he can go get flowers from this and that in like 4 seconds, but it takes him 10 seconds to fly from the Arboretum to the Daily Planet. Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I tell my preschoolers, turn on your listening ears, please. Turn them on, and they go beep, beep.
Back at the Arboretum, Martin Snell tells Superman that Superman is to stay out of the South Side. If Snell even catches one glimpse of Superman's cape there, someone Superman cares about will die. Because after all, Superman cannot be everywhere at once, but apparently this guy's bullets can. Also, says Martin, there's no point in Superman taking Martin to the police, because if he does, Martin's replacement will step right in. So basically, Superman has to obey. For now.
Are we clear? On one thing. This is not over.
Outside the courthouse, Superman offers to help Mayson however he can, even agreeing to testify. Mayson coldly says that she'll contact him if he's needed, prompting Superman to ask if she has a problem with him. Hello, duh. She absolutely does. Mayson criticizes the way he arrests criminals without reading them their rights and questions his secrecy. Like, who are you and where do you live? Superman says he can't tell her that, but their conversation is cut short when Lois arrives, happily greeting him before he flies away. Watching him leave, Mayson dryly remarks,
"Funny, he's a lot shorter in person than you'd think."
You know, I don't know what your problem is.
Clark, hi.
Hi.
She has some valid questions, though. I feel like she has a good point. Do you have a license to chase criminals?
She does have a point. In the script, the scene was actually extended. And it makes sense why she is kind of upset, because she's like, do you know how much paperwork you make for my office? And where am I supposed to get a hold, or like, how am I supposed to get a hold of you if I don't know where you live? If you need to come in for a deposition? Like, she doesn't like his secret life.
Yeah.
And says that mystery men scare her. I'm like, okay, that's valid. He probably does make a lot more work for them.
And
because how would they get a hold of him?
I think this is the first time that he's had to face this question on our show, actually, except for maybe like in Man of Steel bars when he was getting arrested, they're kind of asking for some stuff. But like it comes back in later seasons where they're, asking him, why don't you have this? Or you should be more official. And I think this is kind of where it starts. And I appreciate it. I feel bad for him, but yeah, valid points.
Yeah, it's valid. But before Lois can press her about her comment about him being short, Clark arrives, and Mayson instantly softens, warmly apologizing for delaying his deposition. Because apparently she has this murder thing she's got to deal with.
Yeah, who died?
Who died? I don't know. Two people.
Mm-hmm.
Lois asks Mayson about Intergang, explaining that they heard that they secretly take over businesses, criminal groups, and even governments while staying hidden. Mayson suspects they may be backing the Skins, and Lois adds that her source believes Intergang has infiltrated the police department as well. As Mayson leaves, Lois and Clark spot Baby Rage entering the courthouse with attorney Martin Snell, whom Clark obviously knows is connected to Intergang now. Seeing them, Baby Rage smirks and calls out, "Reporter man, got a match?" Yeah. So why didn't Clark say anything to Lois about Snell? I mean, I know he was Superman at the time, but he could have heard from Superman and told her. I guess maybe I'll bring this up maybe when they're fighting about it, because I'm like, that doesn't
You
make
mean like
sense
he
to
should have
me.
said that his source was Superman so that she
Yeah,
would believe
his source
him?
was Superman. Superman said that blah, 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 I don't know.
Because he can't play that card too many times, I guess.
I guess not.
For
Probably
plot
best to
reasons,
separate.
and it's just too easy, right? It's if he did that all the time.
That's true.
Like, how do you always know so much?
Yeah. Inside Perry's office, Jimmy is on the phone with his new girlfriend, I guess, Kelly, reluctantly following Perry's horrible dating advice. Don't listen to Perry, please. He tells her that he's busy with work all weekend, repeatedly turning down plans. Even as she mentions a picnic on a nude beach. Poor Jimmy. His face, he's like, no, I don't want to say no to that. After he hangs up, Jimmy tells Perry that he feels guilty about lying to her, but Perry insists that it isn't a lie because he's going to work his butt off. Well, that's nice, Perry. Jeez.
I know. Not only do you not get to go on a date, but now I'm gonna force labor out of you.
Yeah.
How mean.
He's gonna make him clean his office again.
Again.
How many closets do I have to clean out? So Perry urges him to trust him and adds, well, what makes gold so valuable?
Makes good fillings? No, because it's rare.
It makes good fillings? Come on.
I love that quote, though.
Jimmy has got the lines in this episode.
Mm-hmm. He does.
I love it.
Jimmy. I feel bad for Jimmy.
Yes.
What if she was the one?
And I don't think... Could have been.
I don't think... I mean, maybe at first Jimmy kind of trusts Perry, but eventually it's like, shoot, I don't want to listen to this man, but he's my boss. And I can't just like say no to him, but ugh.
I should take his advice. Maybe he does know what he's talking about, even though I don't think this is correct.
Even though
some terrible advice.
His wife is a
awful
ghost.
Yes. Right. Even though
he
his
says
life
he's
is in
married,
shambles.
but none of us have actually ever seen her, so.
So Lois digs into public records on Martin Snell and discovers that 5 years ago, he worked as legal counsel for Bill Church, handling overseas acquisitions. As she compares Intergang's expansion with the growth of Church's Costmarts, she notices that they always seem to appear in the same places. Coincidence? Clark suggests looking into Church's police record, but there is nothing there. Lois remarks, so he's never been caught. Neither was Lex Luthor, till the end. It's true.
Nice callback to Lex. We can't forget about this man.
Yeah, gotta make sure he's still in there somewhere.
Yeah. Mention him every once in a while.
Don't forget.
Somewhere in a graveyard, there is a man in a box.
Or in a nice
Store.
box. He's in the freezer.
Oh my. Clark still believes that Snell may be the better target to investigate further, but just then, Perry drops by with tickets to the charity ball and jokingly tells them to bring dates, which they don't do. Unless Mason
they don't
is
know
his
anybody
date.
else.
That's true.
Who would they ask?
True.
What about Mitchell? Later, Lois calls her uncle and gives him her beeper number in case he gets into trouble. Why can't he just call her on her cell phone?
Yeah.
Questions.
It was very expensive to use that cell phone back in the day.
Use the beeper. Use the beeper, though. Okay. Just as she's hanging up, Superman appears. He warns her that Intergang has targeted her and that the paint bullets were only a warning. He's been told to stay out of the south side or the next bullets they fire will be real. Lois tries to make light of the conversation, saying, well, you are pretty visible. I mean, it's not like you could go undercover. A look passes between them. Light bulb moment here. Maybe he could go undercover. He thanks her and leaves.
Thank goodness for
Doy.
Lois. This man would never get anything done without her ideas.
So
Like,
true.
Maybe I can. They didn't say anything about Clark. He could have just went as Clark.
No.
No. I guess I should mention here that also he's swatting at that weird fly that's in the air.
It's going after him.
Even though
Yeah.
nothing comes of that until a while later. But he swats at this darn fly.
Still around. That fly.
Still there. Bad flies. Back at Clark's apartment, even though we know it's incredibly illegal to impersonate a police officer, we see that Clark has indeed acquired a police uniform. Somehow?
This
Where
is
did
like
he
3
get
days
this?
before Halloween. He just went to
Spirit Halloween, guys.
Right? This is not from Spirit Halloween. This is legit.
KB Toy Store closed and
It looks exactly like an actual police uniform with an actual real badge. Did he steal this?
I did not
Where
think
did-
it looked real. I thought it looked
Really?
like what
Well,
if you went to a certain kind of club with certain kind of dancers, what they would be wearing
Oh.
before they removed everything.
Oh.
That's what it
but it
Maybe.
did have the same badge.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll go there.
Insert thoughts here.
Yeah, insert thoughts. Play
Yeah.
music.
Did he steal it from the Metropolis PD or what?
Did he borrow it? Maybe he borrowed it.
Borrowed
No, but he
it.
would have had to get permission,
Borrowed it.
and that's still illegal. I don't know.
Who knows? But just as he's about to try it on, Mason shows up. He puts his glasses on. Good thinking. He remembered this time.
Mhm.
And answers the door, shirtless.
Hi.
Hi.
Her mouth drops to the floor.
I was in the neighborhood and thought we could go over some facts.
Sure. Come on in. Just let me throw a shirt on real quick.
No.
This is very reminiscent of Lois and the pilot.
Mhm.
I said 9. I thought you'd be
yeah.
naked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ready.
All of his
Like a
romantic interests have to see it at least once. They have to see
Gotta
it.
see his chest and his biceps at the same time.
It's an
they
initiation
oil-
process.
Or
I'm
else he's
saying.
just a dork. Yeah.
I was gonna say, did they oil him up because his back was pretty shiny? Like,
I wrote
think they
that
did.
too. Does he
I
have
just thought it
oil
was
rubbed all over
warm.
or lotion?
It was a
Yes,
hot
I wrote the
day,
same thing.
but he wouldn't. He wouldn't, because he's Superman. Like
He-
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh
They
no!
did it
did.
for the ratings.
Oh, yeah.
Someone on set was like, "Oh, you just need a little of this. We'll make you look
I think so.
shiny. We need some ratings."
Oh, good lord!
Someone had a
He was
really good
definitely
day.
shiny.
She got paid for that.
I'll take that job. I'll
I
volunteer.
know.
You don't have
God,
to
he
even
was-
pay me.
I would have done it too back then. Sure.
At what point in his upbringing in good old Kansas did his parents not say to him, "Hey, honey, you're answering the front door and you don't know who it is? Maybe just throw on a shirt first."
Yeah.
What did
He
this
could
has
do it
become a thing?
in 0.3 seconds. Yeah.
Well, he's
Not when
wearing
you look
shorts.
like that.
At least he's not just wearing a towel. However, it's like, I mean, I don't answer the door in like my
A
bra.
robe.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be like,
or
hello.
even a bathing suit, right? Even a bathing suit, like the last episode where the girl opens and she's wearing a bikini.
Well, she had a cover. She was a little bit.
You could
She's
see
more
right
covered than
through that thing.
Clark. She's
Yeah,
more covered
that's
than
true.
Clark.
Yeah, okay, that's a valid point. Sure. Yeah.
You don't care. You just feel like, hello, welcome in, come.
This was all part of
This?
his plan. He's like, Mason, she's kind of cute.
This whole
Open the door.
thing? No.
Oh, hey. I was just lotioning myself. Come on in.
Here's the bottle. Would you like to continue?
It's
You want to take your shirt off too? Okay.
It's so obviously like this shot's for the ladies. Like I just
I'm okay with that.
it's
Yeah.
it's whatever.
I definitely did not complain. This was the highlight of one of the highlights of the episode for me.
Moving on. So I can't. All right. So Clark,
I'm just remembering the quote. I don't remember which episode it is. No, I think it was the prankster. She says, "I'm glad you're having such a good time too." Like that's what I'm about to say right now. I'm glad you're having such a good time. It's
yes.
fine. It's fine. We need it. We all need our
Yeah.
things, you know? For
Absolutely.
me, it's quotes about random pie.
Yeah.
I'll take the
This was to
shirtless
get
scenes.
this was to get the girls, keeping them in, because there's a lot of boring stuff in this.
Clark invites her in and says that he's going to put a shirt on real quick. Mason says,
I mean, that's all right, because if it would make you uncomfortable, because it's, you know, it's very warm in here.
and then she takes her suit jacket off, saying, "Yeah, definitely, that's much better." Oh my, Mason. Down in Church's basement office, Church is testing out a new product that Cosmart may carry. The Swing King, guaranteed to improve your putt. Does this guy know Lucky Leon?
I know, right? What's with all the golf the golf products on this show?
Martin Snell arrives to brief Bill Church on the South Side operation. Setting his briefcase on the table, he activates a hidden digital map displaying the neighborhood in glowing colors. Pretty impressive. Like the whole tabletop flips.
Yeah.
Very cool.
If you compare it back to the episode to I've Got a Crush on You, the other episode where someone's trying to acquire and Lex Luthor's table of like painted cups,
Yeah,
boxes,
the little
cones,
the little blocks,
cones of Dunshire,
the little pathetic little blocks, and one cone. And Lex has money. Well, I guess Church
but he
probably has
spent it
money
all
too.
on the hologram of the space.
Yeah. But anyway, it glows colors. Green for properties already acquired, yellow for locations still under negotiation, and a single red marker for Mike Lane's restaurant, The Lone Holdout. As impressive 3D holographic buildings rise from the map, Church explains the real goal. Future offshore gambling legislation that will allow casinos, hotels, and other cash businesses to funnel and hide his money. Realizing Mike Lane stands in the way, Church orders Snell to have him killed.
Do him. Have the skins do him. Don't let it trail back to us. Make it look like a gang vendetta. Big, messy, loud. Do him.
You sound so silly. Sorry, Peter Boyle.
Do him. Big, messy, loud. Do him.
Throw the torts around if you have to. Make it messy.
As Clark and Mason finish up at his apartment, she calls him brave for agreeing to testify. Clark kind of shrugs it off, insisting that he's only telling the truth, not that he's brave at all. Mason says she respects Superman, but believes Clark is showing even more courage because he's just an ordinary man standing up to a dangerous criminal organization. In her eyes, that makes him 10 times the man Superman is.
Hmm.
I mean,
So sweet.
yeah, I guess.
How do we think Clark is feeling in this moment? Because on one hand, she is insulting his other half, but at the same time, she called him an ordinary guy, which is like, for him,
Yeah.
compliment number one.
Yeah. I think it's a valid compliment. And I think he's probably attracted to that. There's nothing wrong with him being like, wow, this girl gets me a little bit.
Yeah, she
Just wish she
appreciates
was
him.
Lois.
Yeah. Before leaving, Mason asks Clark to lunch. He awkwardly assumes she means to discuss the case. Hello, duh. She meant a date, you idiot. After a hesitant beat, he agrees, and she catches him off guard with a kiss. What the heck? She doesn't waste any time.
On the mouth.
Right?
That is so forward. I mean, woman empowerment, rah rah, sis boom bob, but also, dude, you're not at that level yet.
Right?
Maybe I'm a prude.
That was a bit much. They haven't even had their date yet. Dang. But okay. At
Yeah,
that
she hasn't even
exact
cooked him
moment.
lasagna.
Yeah, no lasagna. At that exact moment, Lois arrives at the door and sees everything. Shocked and most definitely jealous, she quickly ducks out of sight before Mason notices her. Once Mason leaves, Lois confronts Clark and reveals that Mason once worked for Martin Snell, suggesting possible ties to Bill Church and Intergang. Before the conversation can go further, Lois's beeper suddenly goes off.
Oh no, it's Uncle Mike. He's in trouble.
Could have just called her, but used her beeper. We cut over to Mike's cafe, where he is being attacked by several thugs. The Skins, apparently. One armed with a baseball bat and another with a knife. Clark suddenly appears disguised as the undercover cop and starts fighting them off while hilariously reading them their Miranda rights like he's a real officer. After knocking one thug to the ground, Clark asks, "Do you understand these rights as I've explained them to you?" The guy is too winded to fully answer, so Mike helpfully chimes in, "Officer, that sounds like a yes." Wanting to escape before Mike recognizes him, Clark quickly claims he needs to leave to call for backup, and then makes his quick exit.
That'd been funny if Mike was like, hey, "Oh, Clark? What are you doing?"
Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, hi. I didn't know you were
That was
a
it.
police officer.
You like my niece, huh? I see you.
He was holding his own there for a while, though. He kicked that one guy to the ground. Or I don't know, did he go to the ground? But
yeah, it said he used to be a Marine or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do when there's that many guys. One against, like, what, 5 is, you're not going to have much luck. Back at the Daily Planet, Lois and Clark argue in the conference room over Mason. Lois insists that Mason is dirty, but Clark points out that they have no proof of that. Lois fires back that they don't have proof against Martin Snell either, so what exactly is the difference? Then she takes a jab at him personally, suggesting the real difference is that Snell doesn't bat his eyes at Clark and make him giddy. Clark then asks if she's jealous, but Lois quickly denies it, insisting she doesn't care who he dates unless it interferes with their work. I don't believe that's true, Lois,
I don't buy it for a second.
Okay. Not one bit. She's most definitely jealous. Clark argues that disagreeing with her isn't hurting the investigation and says they need to stay focused. Lois snaps back,
But you're not saying stay on track. You're saying stay away from your girlfriend.
But she is not my girlfriend.
Well, whatever she has got you finger wrapped and blindfolded.
You know, if anybody's blind around here, it's you.
What is that supposed to mean?
The comment leaves Lois completely confused, and once the words are out, Clark realizes he doesn't fully know what he meant either. Didn't he say this in Barbarians as well? That she was blind?
How could you be so blind, Lois?
Right.
Yeah.
Look right at the guy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Subconscious indeed.
Yes.
Carrying that around with him.
Because, like we've mentioned, he has been dropping hints. We think he, deep down, wants her to know he's Superman, even though he's scared to death. I think he is unconsciously or subconsciously frustrated that she doesn't see what's right in front of her. So I do think that he kind of meant what he said, but he doesn't know why he said it.
Yeah.
Yes. But we all know why. So Clark flies to Smallville to talk with his parents after his argument with Lois. Martha, noting she's been studying psychology, offers a tongue-in-cheek explanation saying,
Freud would say it's a subconscious desire in search of a context. And Jung would dismiss it as an anger-induced synaptic anomaly.
But Jonathan's reply is funny.
Adult education. It's a beautiful thing.
Martha's look, though, was just like the death stare. Martha then asks Clark the real question. Who exactly is this Mayson woman, and is he interested in her? Clark admits that he thinks that he is, but that's what makes the whole situation so strange.
But that's the other weird part. Mason likes me, or Clark, but she hates Superman, which is kind of confusing because Lois loves Superman but only likes Clark. Mason likes Clark, but in a different way than Lois. And Mason hates Superman in a way that's different from anybody.
Why can't they like Superman and Clark? Dang it, Lois! Throughout the entire conversation, Clark keeps referring to himself in the third person, separately as Clark and Superman. Growing concerned, Martha says,
I've been afraid something like this was going to happen.
What?
You're beginning to talk about yourself in the third person. It's all this pressure. That's why I started taking the psych class. And not a moment too soon.
Jonathan, however, takes a far lighter view of the situation. Martha, he says,
The boy has two gorgeous women running after him. This does not rate high on the list of world problems.
That's true, but let's not forget that Mason may be an agent of Intergang.
Well, nobody's perfect, son. How about a piece of pie?
Not only the iconic pie line, but did you see his sleeves rolled up to here?
Oh,
This is the most skin we have ever seen.
More than when he was painting?
More than when he was painting.
Okay.
Clark is awfully open about his personal love life with his parents.
Well, he's already told his parents he wants to spend the rest of his life with Lois. I guess he's like, that didn't work out, but
I don't know.
Well, he doesn't have anyone else to talk to.
It's true.
You know, that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, has he given up on Lois? If he said he wants to spend the rest of his life with Lois, and I'm assuming he still does, but he's entertaining the thought of Mason, does that mean he's sort of given up?
I feel like he hasn't given up, but he needs to keep his options open in case she never changes her mind. But I think he's just confused. Like, clearly, if there was a choice, he's picking Lois. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But he doesn't have the choice. Lois, wake up.
I know Jen's thing is animals, but I did hear a cow in Smallville, and it made me happy.
Oh.
I know they have a cow.
I did not hear that. That's cool.
Could have been the neighbors.
True.
How close is the neighbor? No, okay.
It was loud.
Back at the Daily Planet again, Lois is still upset after her argument with Clark, prompting Perry to give her a pep talk in his office. Lois admits she thinks that Clark is letting his feelings for Mason interfere with their story, and she hates how unprofessional it feels, though she can't fully explain why it bothers her so much. I wonder. Perry gently tells her, "You're going to have to figure it out. Clark's a very nice man, but when you get right down to it, a nice man is still a man." Do you think Perry knows at this point that they're in love?
That they're. I thought you meant does Perry know he's Superman? He's being ironic here. I was like, no, Perry doesn't know anything.
No. I think he knows.
Yeah, I think Perry kind of knows they're going to end up together. I think, or is he's seen a few romances go by at the Daily Planet, and it's fitting the pattern.
I feel like this is kind of that talk. Like, yeah, he kind of knows, at least in my mind, that she secretly likes him, but hasn't figured it out, and he thinks they're going to eventually get together. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because then Lois confesses that Clark is her best friend. Aww. And she's afraid of losing him. Perry reassures her that she won't. He says they may hit a few bumps in the road, but things will work out between them eventually. Perry knows.
Yeah.
This is the one time Perry gives good advice that Lois likes that doesn't involve Elvis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, Perry.
In the script, he was about to give her that Jaguar speech that he gave Jimmy. And there was something about like, well, you already had this speech when I was dating Lex.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh.
All right. So now we're back at the Americana Cafe where Clark runs into Lois's Uncle Mike. Clark mentions that he's meeting Mayson there for lunch. Clark looks over and spots Mayson just as she's saying goodbye to Bill Church, who kisses her on the cheek. Interesting. And Mayson looks fantastic, by the way. She's in this tailored pinstriped power suit with sheer black tights, very peak 90s. She kind of looks like a blonde version of Lois, just like Lawyer. So when she walks up to Clark with this big smile, he immediately calls her out for being with her old boss, and she's totally thrown. She asks how he even knew that, and Clark basically says, "Was it a secret?" Then he starts to explain his and Lois's investigation, following the trail from Baby Rage to Martin Snell to Inner Gang to Bill Church. And Mayson does not take that well. She gets all defensive, shuts down and storms off.
I don't blame her.
Clark could not have killed this date faster.
I know.
Hey, I don't blame her for getting the heck out. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was rude.
Start a date like that. Or the second you hear her being like, "How'd you know he's my old boss?" You change the subject. You do not go there.
Nothing. You look nice today. Hey, let's go have a seat. Let's chat. How have you been? P.S.
Oh.
I know something.
Yeah. Dumb Clark.
Well, not polite anyway.
Yeah. So later on, we're in the courtroom and Mayson has Clark on the stand. She's walking him through what he saw. And once she's done, Clark is excused. And then, someone walks in with a stack of papers and hands them to Snell, who immediately turns and smirks. Not a good sign. Mayson clocks it, and she looks a little rattled. Back in the gallery, Lois and Clark start apologizing to each other at the exact same time. Their dynamic here is really cute. They're clearly super comfortable with each other, and it's got flirty, energy to it. But their moment gets interrupted when they notice Mayson and Snell talking to the judge. Just a minute later, the judge announces that there is new evidence, and it's not good. Apparently, shocking gasp, the officer didn't properly read Baby Rage his Miranda rights, and the search warrant for his house had the wrong address on it. Mayson insists that there must be some mistake, but the judge gives her 24 hours to sort it out and prove the arrest is still valid. Otherwise, the whole case falls apart and the defendant walks. And Lois is not buying that this is just a clerical error. She immediately jumps to the conclusion that this is Mason's doing, and that she set up the whole thing and is working with Church and Snell. So now back at the planet, Perry and Jimmy are strategizing because tonight is the night that Jimmy is finally going to call Kelly. Just to recap, Jimmy's been completely ignoring her, all thanks to Perry's advice, which, you know. But now Perry pivots and unveils this whole elaborate plan to win her over.
You go home, you call her tonight.
Chief, don't you think it's a little late to be calling her?
You'll wake her up. You tell her you're sorry you're calling after midnight. But all of a sudden you got this inexplicable urge to hear her voice. Now she'll be half dreaming, half listening when you tell her you have tickets to this magical ball. And that you'll pick her up this Saturday at 8.
Chief, does this mean I have to buy a tie?
Does this mean I have to buy a tie?
Perry doesn't even give him an answer.
You don't have a tie?
I know, that's wild. You work in an office.
Spoiler alert, he does not wear a tie.
No.
To the dance or the ball or whatever. So he did not go buy one.
No, he did not.
Probably because his date was like, I'm not coming.
Yeah. Oh, poor Jimmy. So Lois is on the phone working hard trying to find out more information so that she can help her uncle's case. Clark looks dejected as Lois gets hung up on and admits that they're at a dead end. But then out of nowhere we hear, maybe not, and the camera pans over to Mayson. She admits that if the case gets thrown out and her office gets implicated, she can get disbarred. So she's a little motivated and she wants to get to the bottom of this just as much as they do. But she doesn't even know who to trust anymore. She says, if you want trust, you have to start by giving it. This is everything my office has on Intergang and her personal files on Martinsdale. Clark thinks that they should work together. Lois decides that's probably the best course of action. But then we start to hear a buzzing insect and Clark starts swatting at it. Lois is like, careful, that sounds like the bug that bit me. Clark freezes, gives this intense, slightly crazed looking stare, and then just snatches it out of the air. Lois and Mayson both look up like, what did we just witness? And Clark says he's going to go release it. Sure, okay. But when he looks closer, he realizes it's not a bug. It's a tiny robot.
Those were some weird looking fingers that they clearly made out of something, but they're gross looking.
Yeah.
They look dirty.
hands.
And
Yeah.
you,
Dry.
Clark, wash your hands and dry. Put some lotion. The person put lotion on his back, but not his hands.
Not his hands.
Poor Clark. He's just...
Cut to somewhere else where a guy at a computer tells the room that they just broke another needle on this guy, Kent. Clark walks back to the two women and suddenly goes,
I have to go.
Where?
You guys stay here. It won't take long.
What won't take long?
The thing that I have to do in the place that I'll be back from in just 1 second.
Does he do that a lot?
Constantly.
He'll do it a lot
Although
more.
we're seeing it more than ever before. In
Mhm.
season 2,
Yes.
we get the going up. Okay, so back at Insect Mission Control, Headset Guy is freaking out because he has lost control of his little bug drone, and now it's tracking straight to them. Cool, love that for you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. And right on cue, Superman, aka the Kool-Aid Man, just busts through the wall again. Guys, do we have a tally on how many walls he busts through? Question mark.
It's at least 3 Kool-Aid Man style. Many more like throwing the door out of the way.
We have the bank vault. We have the wall of sound.
This one.
We've got the bomb from the prankster. This one.
Oh yeah, the bomb from the prankster. Okay. Wow, that's like 3 already this season.
There's a lot this season, yeah.
4 walls. The drywall companies, like the contractors are having some business.
The pre-season 2 writers meeting was like, we gotta bust through more walls.
Yeah, people love that. People love the shirtless scenes, the Lois and Clark jealousy, and the wall busting.
So that's how your bullets always find their targets. A genetic tag injected by needle. What is it? Radioisotope?
And then he smashes the bug in his hand and glares at them. At the bad guys.
These poor tech guys just doing
I know.
what they're told.
I'm just earning a paycheck, guy.
They look a little scared.
Meanwhile, Bill Church and Martin Snell are watching all of this go down on a monitor. Superman turns and punches the screen, which, okay, sir, but that's just the monitor. The tower's the important part. Okay,
It's
dramatic.
Yeah, it's more.
Yes.
And that's the
I
second
don't know.
computer screen they've smashed on this show in the last 3 episodes. They really
Yeah.
going through them.
Superman has the best line here.
Now stop bugging people.
Snell calmly gets up, presses a few buttons, and launches another one of those guided bullets. Superman takes off after it, and it is heading straight for the Daily Planet. And oh no, Perry White is just casually walking out of the front doors, completely unaware that he's about to have a very bad day. But don't worry, Superman swoops in at the last second and whisks him out of the way.
Superman, did you just save me from something?
Uh-huh.
Do I want to know what it was?
Nah.
Let's head back to the courtroom. Mayson pulls Martin Snell aside for a very quiet conversation. She tells him that Lane and Kent have a deep throat inside the police department, and more importantly, that he has a leak. One of his own people on Intergang's payroll is talking. Mayson calmly offers a solution. She can help him get rid of the problem. Then she holds up an envelope. Here is the name of your two-timing cop. For sale. One-time offer. Snell doesn't respond right away, so she starts to walk off, and that's when he cracks, and he says, how much? And perfect timing, because just then, the judge walks by, so they both instantly switch to polite courtroom mode, like nothing just happened. Meanwhile, nearby, Lois and Clark have been listening to this whole exchange, and they have exactly what they need. They bring the tape to court, and Snell immediately tries to squirm out of it, claiming that the voice is clearly an actor. Sure, Jan. The judge is not impressed.
But for the moment, we're going to assume that was you, which does not bode well for your future as an attorney or a free man. And as for the defendant, Daniel Anthony Bell, a.k.a. Baby Rage, you're going to trial.
Court is dismissed. So everyone's happy. Lois, Clark, Mayson, they're all smiling. They did it. Good job.
Yay.
Okay, so now we're outside of, is this the same place that the Kurth Awards are held? Or it kind of looks like one of Lex's party spots, no? Right? Maybe?
It looked
Yeah,
familiar.
it's not the Kurth. It's been used for the magic show. It's been used as a
Okay, yes,
restaurant.
that's right.
It's
Yeah.
Chateau
Anyway.
Roberge eventually.
Oh,
It's used for,
yeah.
it's
Ooh.
used for a lot. The Kurth
Okay.
Awards was at the cinema.
Okay, that's
Oh, yeah.
right. That's right. I knew we had seen someplace like this.
But they used
Anyway.
this one a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the fancy, smanchy ball. And Lois is looking gorgeous in this dusty blue, romantic, vintage-inspired gown. The bodice looks like a corset with intricate lace detailing and a sweetheart neckline, plus these sheer draped sleeves. It's super flowy, very soft, very pretty. And her hair is curled, and I will always support Lois experimenting with her hair, just not in season 3.
Yeah, I like this curl as opposed to sort of the wavy one she does in Season's Greetings. Like she's actually curled this time. I like
Yeah, it looks really pretty. And for the record, Clark also looks great in a tux, so I just want to be fair. Lois and Clark are talking with Mike, who says things in the neighborhood are finally turning around. No more gangs. Lois points out that whoever is behind Intergang clearly doesn't love the spotlight. And right on cue, Bill Church walks by and gives Mike a thumbs up. Mike says that he... Mike thinks that he's a great guy, but Lois, not so much. She tells Clark that they're going to prove it, that he's not a good guy. Meanwhile, Jimmy is in the corner, pouring the last of his soda into a wine glass, which, honestly, same. Maybe that's why I love him. He's my spirit animal. I'm always here for a soda and a wine glass. But there's no Kelly to be seen anywhere. Perry walks up and asks if he can meet her, and Jimmy's like,
"Oh, sure, Chief. Just hop a plane to Switzerland. That's where her new boyfriend lives. The one who cheered her up while I was ignoring her."
And
that
then we
all
get
happened
this...
really fast.
It really did. Because that was what? The end of the week?
I was trying
I
to
don't know.
like if in with the outfits they wear and everything, it's like 3 or 4 days for this whole episode. But then that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. So I don't know.
Well, and then we get this gem. Perry goes,
You know what a man needs at a time like this?
Baseball bat and an alibi?
I love that quote. I think I had it saved on my computer way back in the day as a WAV file.
Yes.
And Perry goes into one of his long rants and compares love to a casino and explains that sometimes you just crap out. Cut to Mayson talking to Bill Church, telling him she's bringing charges against Martin Snell, as she should. She asks if he has any business dealings with Snell, and Church is like, nope. Then we get Lois and Clark dancing. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this scene. It's been a couple of years apparently because it hit me all over again. They're dancing and it's really cute. And then what happens? Mayson cuts in. Rude. Does that always happen?
Payback for Clark cutting in back in the pilot. I mean,
True.
Also,
I guess.
No.
No,
Yeah,
she was all happy and
I know. And then she looked
Makes
so
me
sad. But don't worry because she looks sad, but Perry swoops in so fast to pick up where Clark left off. And it is still really cute. And Perry checks in with her and asks if she and Clark are still okay. Lois says they're fine. She even admits that Mason's not that bad, just a little pushy, maybe a little desperate. And then she says, I think what you said is right. No matter what happens, I'll never lose Clark. And then Perry dips her and it's really cute.
Duh.
I was like, that's gonna really make it hurt in 2 episodes. Irony, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Taking it back to when Mayson is talking to Bill Church. Did you guys notice his hair?
No.
Or was
Bill
it
Church's
just
hair?
me?
No,
Yes.
that's you.
No.
He's got like 2 little hairs on the top of his head that are just sticking straight up like 2 little antennas.
I
That's so
noticed
funny.
that before.
I think I have, yeah, over the
Little
years
horns.
I've noticed that. I didn't
2
notice
little
this
hairs
viewing, though.
Those are his evil horns. That's to show he's bad.
It just made me laugh.
His device in a minute with you got to have a receiver somewhere.
Yeah, true.
It was something. It just made me laugh this last viewing because it's just 2 little ones just sticking straight up.
That's too funny. Okay, so outside of the ball, Bill Church opens a little BlackBerry looking thing, or like if the 90s had an iPhone. He watches Snell on camera and starts to divulge who the head of Inner Gang is. Church pushes a button and kapowie! We see Bill's face literally light up as he watches his device. He puts it in his pocket and he walks away. He is a bad man.
Yeah, he not only killed Snell, but he killed whoever was interrogating him.
Yeah.
He killed all the cops. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. So back at Lois's apartment, Lois is on cloud 9. She's literally still dancing around the room when Superman just flies in through her open window.
I just dropped in to say thank you for your advice the other night.
Sir, what the are you doing? The more you show up like this as Superman, the harder you're making things for yourself.
My uncle's been
You are
wanting me to
actively
find out
sabotaging
what the was
my guy.
Baking my cake.
Mixed
Anyway,
signals.
Tell him that I
Yeah.
retired.
Didn't he used to at least wait at her window and ask to come in? Now
I know,
kind of like
right?
a voop,
Knock.
right?
Knock, man.
Just
Here,
comes
man.
on in.
Mhm.
Would you like to dance?
That sounds
They
nice.
start talking about things they like, and Lois has this moment where she's like, wow, I guess I don't really know you very well. And it's like, yeah, this is exactly why
Yeah.
Clark is spiraling internally.
I love this song.
Do you? I've been thinking I don't know that much about you. What kind of music you like, what your favorite color is. I didn't even know you could dance.
This isn't dancing.
It's not.
This is.
So anyway, then we get this full dancing in the air moment. They're floating, it's romantic, it's a whole thing. And then Superman uses his powers to suck the window closed. Why?
You
The
stay in
window
a
was
while.
fine. The window
That's
was
some
fine.
serious mixed signals
Yeah.
there. Like, I'm
No.
staying all night. Like, what is happening? Clark,
What
what
are
are
we
you
doing?
doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So who knows what she was thinking at the very end of that episode, but I'm pretty sure she thought
Whoa,
she was.
he's not leaving.
Yeah.
We don't know if he did, but we know
I
they
know,
didn't
we
get
don't
up to
see-
anything.
Yeah, they didn't do anything because Lois didn't die.
She didn't die.
If you know, you know.
It's always the important questions that you need to know to get to know somebody. What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color? I know. Yeah.
Do
Guys,
you
I
guys
don't
have
even
a
know that
favorite
about
color?
you.
This being a report, I do, but I don't. You know who? The only person who ever
No.
asked me that is my students, my like 7-year-olds.
Right.
Is it green?
Yeah.
No?
I like purple. Purple's my favorite.
Purple?
Yeah.
It changes on the daily. Like, I don't know. Sometimes blue,
Yeah.
sometimes pink, sometimes
I
orange.
feel like I really know you
pink.
now.
Yeah, I know.
Glad we answered. But I don't know Julie. She's still an enigma.
I am. Mine changes as well. Usually it's purple or like burnt orange. Those two.
Yeah. Well, they should get married now because Lois knows all these important things about Superman.
He didn't tell her. He didn't tell her his favorite color.
He didn't.
He didn't answer.
Yeah, that's true. He just said, "I don't know much about you." Okay, yeah. So I don't know. Don't get married, Clark. You still have a chance.
Well, they
Clark,
both like
ask
the
her what
same
her favorite color is.
song. So there's that again.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think about Uncle Mike?
I liked him.
Never to be seen again.
I know. I liked him. He seemed to really care about Lois and be like kind
I
of
did
shipping
too.
Lois and Clark. And I wish they'd at least brought him back for one of the 17 wedding episodes. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. I liked him. I don't know what they would have done with him, but
No, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want them to just shoehorn him, but just, but I liked him, and I wish that had been. Like, I also wish Wayne Ira could come back and some of these other people that. So I think this might have been the episode where I started to accept Justin Whalen as Jimmy because he just does such a good job in this episode. His acting, his facial expressions, his little one-liners. I feel bad that Jimmy doesn't get great advice from Perry and loses his girlfriend, but
yeah,
it's adorable, the whole thing. He does a great job. Bravo, Justin.
Yes. They actually gave him stuff to do in this episode.
Yeah. You feel sorry for him. He gets the sympathy card.
Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add?
So Mike got the contract to do the catering for that charity ball, even though Church was in charge of it, or at least halfway in charge of it, correct? Why? I mean, I get why they did it because Perry was also involved in like Lois and, the connection there. But the plan was to kill him. I hope he had a backup caterer because they wouldn't have had food. There would be no food at their ball.
Oh.
I always kind of
Because
thought
he
they
does
brought
all
in
the
Mike at the
baking.
last minute, but that'd be a terrible thing to do to someone. Be like, hey, can you cater this thing in 3 days or something? But
Right. What? Yeah, when did he have time to make all this food during all this nonsense? Questions.
yeah, the timing doesn't work out in this episode, but whatever. Well, should we get into our sections?
Sure.
So we have some real life people, places, or events. Quite a few mentioned in this episode. Got a mention of Saigon, aka Ho Chi Minh City, a city in Vietnam. Australia was mentioned, Paramus, New Jersey, South America, and I feel like there were more countries mentioned, but I didn't write them all down. Perry name-dropped Wayne Newton, born Carson Wayne Newton, April 3rd, 1942, a Las Vegas singer who is still in Las Vegas singing, as if this episode aired yesterday.
Wow.
Still valid.
That's crazy.
The judge mentioned Brando, which of course is Marlon Brando, 1924 to 2004, an American actor with a fairly distinct voice who also played Jor-El in the original Superman series, the movie series. Of course, we heard the song Fly Me to the Moon several times. It was written in 1954 by Bart Howard. The version we hear in this episode is sung by Dinah Washington, and she recorded that in 1962. Martha mentioned Jung, which is Carl Gustav Jung, 1875 to 1961. She also mentioned Sigmund Freud, who was 1856 to 1939. So they are both long gone. I know this isn't really part of my section, but I just want to keep pointing out when it happens because we got another baseball reference here. And I feel like baseball is a second season thing that just keeps coming up. Jimmy says to Perry, "Oh, you're batting 1,000. We got him back in the prankster. I know we're going to get him up in the coming up more." Mr. Martin Snell drives a Ferrari. Of course, that's luxury car, Italian, blah, blah, blah. And Mayson Drake, her name is most likely a nod to the classic TV series Perry Mason, with Mason being the surname of the main character and Drake being the surname of Paul Drake, Perry Mason's friend and associate. Yay. Cool. Jen, were there any four-legged, fuzzy, or winged creatures in this episode?
So, yes, the first scene happens when Superman first gets to the park to meet up with Snell. You see in the background on the trail or in between some bushes, you see a little movement. There's a little goose or something. But then later when he comes back after he captures the paint bullet from Lois and then proceeds to let Jimmy get splattered with yellow paint, he goes back to Snell, who is feeding 4 to 5 cute little geese. So yes, I don't know how many, but there are multiple geese in there. It's very cute.
So we got duck/geese, but we also have fish from Lois's apartment.
Okay.
And we see a fly.
Okay, that's not real.
That wasn't a real fly.
Well, there was
Someone
a real
trained
one
the fly.
technically. In that like the goose/duck scene where Superman is talking with Snell.
Yeah.
There's a real fly or something flying around his head.
My question to you is this: did they hire a fly wrangler?
Is that
not.
a fly
No, ma'am.
that they didn't want in the scene, or is that one of the robot bugs trying to get Clark at that very moment?
Maybe.
I think it's a real fly.
I think it's
It looked like a real fly to me.
So in this week's edition of Clark Forgot, well, the obvious one is that Clark forgot his glasses, but the one I'm going with is Clark forgot to use his chill. I know this is nothing new, but in this episode, oh boy. From lifting up Martin Snell by the shoulder, to busting through the wall at the tech center, to smashing a computer monitor, to going off on Lois with, if anyone's blind around here, it's you. I think Clark needs a few good sessions with Dr. Frisk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Julie, were there any goofs or bloopers in this episode?
There were a couple. It was really hard to find anything in this one for some reason. Okay. In the scene where Clark goes into the restroom to clean his tie, you can hear that the water is running in the sink. But the sink is not on and there is no water flowing. In the script, it actually says that the sink should be unseen, probably because they didn't want to worry about plumbing. So they shot that a little too low because you could see it. Oops. When Church is talking to the 4 overseas operatives on the 4 different monitors, each person is sitting at the exact same desk and has the same lamp. Clearly, they just shot the scene 4 times with 4 different people and only changed up the background a little bit.
Oh, no.
I'll never unsee it now.
Right? I don't know how I see these things. I see everything. I have problems. Okay, this one is quite a stretch. Again, I was trying to find something, but I'm going to mention it anyway. The charity ball tickets that Perry handed Jimmy say that the event is on August 11th. August 11th, 1994 was a Thursday, not a Saturday.
Time works differently.
Yeah, Tempest. I have a question.
Okay, one more. Is the little bug that Clark catches is clearly not the same bug in the close-up. The bug that he catches is just this little cheap little plastic black bug, and then the close-up is a robotic bug that is red. But that is all that I have seen.
Jen, what's your choice for the most bonkers excuse Clark uses in this episode?
My favorite was when Clark gets talked to with super hearing. Clark goes, or like when Snell was talking to Clark and Clark had to use his super hearing to hear it. Clark goes, Lois, I just remembered I have an errand to run. For me, it's just the classic, I gotta go. I thought that one was really cute. I thought it was good. I don't know, but there were a couple in here. Did you guys have a favorite?
The thing that I have to do
bug.
and the place that I have to do
And the place that
thing
that one was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was really good too.
Like that wasn't even really an answer. It was a
It wasn't.
non-answer.
It was a non-excuse, but that one was a little airheady. But I just thought this one, I have an errand to run.
Yeah.
We're slowly ramping up to the cheese of the month.
It's a nice, just simple excuse. But
Yeah.
one that he's not going to be able to get away with using more than a few times before she's like,
Yeah,
stop
afterward,
with these errands.
Return the tape that I rented. Yeah.
Yeah, be more specific in your errands. I want to know where you were
Mhm.
going. And then
Yes.
he's like, I am going to Blockbuster to return Lethal Weapon 2 or something. Julie, will you tell us about any script differences? And also, when were these scripts? What's the date on these scripts that you have?
I have 2 scripts for this episode. The production draft, which was September 7th, and then the blue revision, which was September 12th. In the script, Cost Mart was originally named the Price House Discount Chain. Not sure how I feel about that, considering that's my last name. The Price House. Okay. Cost Mart is much better. I don't know if that's a reference to, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's Walmart.
Kmart or Walmart
Costco.
or Costco. There were a few lines cut out of the Mayson asking Clark to lunch scene. When Mayson basically says that it's a date, Clark's response is, oh, huh. And because he didn't answer right away, she gets kind of uncomfortable and says, well, try and cap that enthusiasm. To which he responds, no, it's not that. You just caught me a little off guard, but yeah, lunch sounds good. And then he says, whoa, after the kiss.
No.
So they just kind of chop that down. I'm glad they cut that too. After Lois's beeper goes off, basically informing her that Mike is in trouble, she goes to use Clark's phone. Because Clark needs to get the heck out of there, he makes up this weird excuse that his phone is completely out of order and that she needs to use the payphone down the street. Like, get out of my apartment. Okay.
Huh. I did wonder how he got out of that one, but that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how they split up though. Maybe he was like, I don't know.
Or maybe he was like, I'm gonna drive down there, you call the police, or
you go call, I'll go this way, who knows. But yeah, get out of my apartment. It doesn't work. Clark's little heart-to-heart scene with his parents in Smallville was also extended. There's a sweet scene that I kind of wish they kept where Martha says, oh, Clark, your life is so complicated sometimes, and then she pushes the hair off of his forehead. I watch you trying so hard to figure everything out, like when you were a little boy, taking Dad's new tractor apart and bending the axles into pretzels. Remember? Jonathan says, who could forget? Try explaining that one to the insurance company. Martha says, I know you and Lois have your ups and downs, but I also know she really cares about you. Maybe just as a friend, but maybe as something more. And you two are going to have to figure that out. And this Mayson girl, well, if you're wondering about whether you can trust someone, isn't the simplest way just to come out and ask them?
Not to like sidetrack you, but when I sent you that package with the Superman book, not the one that makes noise, but the other one, there is a scene in that book where he's a child and something very similar to that happens, where he's like taken apart something of his dad's. I feel like
there's something like that.
That's familiar.
But I was like, oh, a little flashback to him as a little kid, bending axles into pretzels. And the other thing was tiny, was at the very end when Lois is dancing in her apartment, before Superman arrives, she was eating ice cream out of the container.
Oh, no. That's what she does when she's upset.
I know. She wasn't upset.
I do it when I'm happy too.
Well, for Lois.
But yeah.
Just dancing with her tub of ice cream. La 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 la. You want some? Maybe Superman shows up and puts his finger in it.
No, no.
That's good.
Like delicious.
All right, the time has come for us to rate the episode on a scale from A+ to F-. The verdicts are in.
Uh,
Well, okay. So I have to start, but I had a hard time grading this one because the plot is well conceived. There's suspense, danger. You've got some legal drama in there, tech gadgets, intrigue. I like Mayson Drake and the tension she brings. I like Lois's conversation with Perry and Clark's scene with his parents. And I love that we get to see Lois and Clark dancing together for a second at that ball. But I can't help but think when I'm watching this episode that this isn't Lois and Clark, or at least it's not the Lois and Clark I love. It feels like we're watching some random episode of Law and Order, one of those type shows that Lois and Clark just happen to be in. Here they are, crossover or whatever. The levity that I expect from the show at this point, it's not there. I mean, there's some good one-liners from Jimmy and a few, and of course the pie, but otherwise I'm not laughing at this episode. I'm not smiling. I'm just like, okay, it's kind of dour. Martin Snell does have some like antics, but that doesn't amuse me one bit. He's, just stop.
Yeah.
The shadowy source of Lois is like, oh, you didn't say if you like my mustache. Like, whatever. Is that supposed to be funny? Okay, maybe, but I'm not amused. Anyway. Oh, and then the Mason sees Clark shirtless scene, I suppose, is funny, and that's great. But for me, the episode just feels really serious and kind of somber. It's just not for me. The dialogue's great, acting's great, directing's fine. Overall mood, meh. I give it a C. Julie.
Okay. Well, now I do not feel so bad because you expressed it way better than I was going to. I have the same issues with this, and I had a really hard time as well grading it. There's nothing really wrong with the episode as a whole, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and I couldn't put my finger on it until you mentioned all of your comments. Just the fact that it was the mood of the whole episode was just kind of meh, kind of a downer. I liked Mason. The plot was okay, the bad guys were okay. It was just there wasn't a lot of Lois and Clark happy. The only parts we got Lois and Clark was, oh, they're at the computer researching something, or oh, they're arguing. The only part that I liked with them was them dancing, which was a total of 2 seconds. There wasn't a whole lot there. So I think that that's what it was that bothers me and is the reason I probably never rewatched this episode. So for that reason, I gave it a C as well. How about you, Jen?
Wow. Okay. Grab your bootstraps, clutch those pearls, because here I come. I don't know what's happening with season 2. However, I personally am starting to get some serious season 2 vibes from this episode. I feel like this is the beginning of my heart eyes. We get introduced to Mayson Drake, who immediately shakes things up. There are some really cute, flirty moments, plus a hint of jealousy with Lois, which, yes, please, I will take that. Martin Snell, in my opinion, he's one of those characters I love to hate. He's got the comic booky vibes to him, where he equals season 2 for me. And then we've got Bill Church, who comes off like this total teddy bear on the surface, but obviously there's more going on under there. And now we've been introduced to Inner Gang. Poor Jimmy, the drums as the sound effects coming back, and Perry helping to navigate both Jimmy's love life and Lois's complex relationship with Clark. I'm entertained. I'm here for the ride. I enjoyed it. I gave it a B.
All right.
Yeah.
I do like that Mason is kind of there to make Lois jealous and kind of that turning point for her. I do like that.
Yeah.
I just think there's just not enough for me. Not enough. I like the shirtless scene and I like the dance scene at the end.
So good. Yeah.
Everything else was really just
pretty.
seemed kind of flat.
I like them eating torts for a few seconds before things all go to pot.
I mean, there's good stuff, and it was weird because I just couldn't put my finger on it because why don't I like this episode? Why don't I rewatch it? Because it has a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I don't. This is not one that I pick up and go, I'm going to watch this one.
It's okay. I'm the odd man out this entire season so far.
But I still enjoyed it. Even the ones I don't like, I like as much.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. But
Yeah, exactly. I see. Yeah, I'm not being. This is not the boxing episode, as we keep saying.
Yeah, it's average.
The bottom of
There's
the barrel.
nothing
It's
wrong.
average so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Well, don't go anywhere because today we have a profile on our Elvis-loving Southern editor-in-chief, Perry White. It's Lane Smith.
Now, son, you just hit the bullseye. It's like we're supporting characters in some TV show that's only about them.
Yeah, it's like all we do is advance their plots.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm sick of it.
Man, me too.
Come on, son. I'm buying.
Lane Smith was born as Walter Lane Smith III on April 29th, 1936. Yes, another actor of Lois and Clark who has a fake, well, a different first name than what they go by. We had that with Eddie Jones. And now Lane Smith, secretly
It
Walter.
is a great name.
Yes.
Great name.
Jen's
That's
dog.
my dog.
Lane Smith was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and from a young age, he wanted to be an actor. He studied drama for 2 years in Pittsburgh, and then he went off and joined the army for a couple of years. Okay. After that, he moved to New York City to study at the Actors Studio. Smith made his off-Broadway stage debut in 1959 and continued to work on stage for the next few decades. He played Randall Patrick McMurphy in the 1971 off-Broadway production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. In 1975, he performed in The Leaf People at the Booth Theater on Broadway. He was also in the 1984 Broadway play Glengarry Glen Ross, a role for which he won a Drama Desk Award. This production also starred Joe Mantegna, James Tolkien, and future LNC guest star J.T. Welsh. Lane Smith's first film was 1970's Maidstone, which I have not seen. Anyone?
Nope.
He had roles in 1973's The Last American Hero with Jeff Bridges, Man on a Swing with Cliff Robertson and Joel Grey, the 1975 TV movie Valley Forge with Victor Garber, Christopher Walken, and John Hurd, Rooster Cogburn with John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn, 1976's Network starring Faye Dunaway and William Holden, and 1978's Blue Collar with Richard Pryor and Harvey Keitel. So it's like a range. He's got the comedy, he's got the drama, he's got the westerns. He had a small role in the 1984 film Places in the Heart, which starred Sally Field, John Malkovich, and Danny Glover, and which won 2 Academy Awards. The film was directed by Robert Benton, who was one of the screenwriters for the 1978 Superman movie. So, connection. And also, we're going to leave this out, but 6 Degrees of Separation, the first movie I was an extra on, was directed by Robert Benton.
Oh, that's cool. We should keep that in. That's awesome. Keep it in.
That's cool.
Yeah, Feast of Love. And that was actually the last movie he ever directed.
That's right. Okay, cool. Wow.
On television, Lane Smith appeared in an episode of Kojak in 1975 and also made appearances on The Rockford Files, Dallas, Heart to Heart, Lou Grant, Hill Street Blues, In the Heat of the Night, and Murder, She Wrote. His leading role as former U.S. President Richard Nixon in the TV movie The Final Days finally gave him what he considered to be his breakout role in 1989. He was nominated for a Golden Globe for this role, but lost to Robert Duvall for Lonesome Dove.
I was making a lot of money, winning most of my cases. But my clients were guilty as hell. And finally, after getting this one fellow off some very serious charges for about the 4th time, I tell you the truth, my conscience got to me. Wouldn't I be better off serving justice by putting the guilty in jail? Well, that's what I've been doing, and I'm a happier man for it. How about you?
Smith played District Attorney Jim Trotter III in 1992's My Cousin Vinny, starring Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei, and Ralph Macchio, which I had never seen in its entirety until a few weeks ago when I rented it. Yes.
What?
I wasn't allowed to watch rated R movies when I was a kid at all. That same year, he played Coach Jack Riley in The Mighty Ducks, a family film that went on to spawn multiple sequels. In 1993, he played Walter Warner Jr. in the movie Son-in-Law, starring Pauly Shore and Carla Gugino.
I love that movie.
I have been trying to find it. I need to find it. Well, it's not at the library. I may have to just pay the $2.99 or whatever.
I watched that movie because he was in it.
Because
and I don't know if that's why I loved it so much, but yeah, I love that movie.
It's so funny. I love it. Now I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Aww.
That and Mighty Ducks. I like Mighty Ducks too.
During and after Lois and Clark, Smith had guest roles on Clueless, Dweebs, Walker, Texas Ranger, Judging Amy, The Practice, and King of the Hill. And I wanted to mention Dweebs. If you remember that show, it was Corey Feldman, Farrah Forkey, and Peter Scolari. Randomly.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Peter was on that. Yeah, forgot about that.
As Julie once mentioned many episodes ago, Lane Smith was in a movie called Getting Personal, written by Michael Landis. Michael Landis and John Shea are also in the movie alongside Lane Smith. It's like a mini Lois and Clark reunion. We have some fun facts about Lane Smith here. Lane Smith was 6 feet 1 inches tall, making him the tallest of the Lois and Clark main cast. He appeared in all but 2 episodes of Lois and Clark. Even though Perry White's birthday was being celebrated in Tempest Fugitive, Lane Smith did not appear in the episode. He was also absent from the 4th season episode, I've Got You Under My Skin. I found an article where Lane Smith was talking about Perry White, and he says, Perry is quite a piece of work. The man is a walking time bomb. He explodes at the drop of a hat, barking orders, yelling for his staff. But beneath that grumpy exterior lies a great sense of humor and a tremendous affection for all things Elvis. And I believe Julie might have been the one to tell us that it was Lane Smith's idea to make Perry an Elvis fan. Does that sound right? I feel like that.
I believe so, yes.
We think that's correct. Lane Smith, appeared at the annual Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois in 1998. Wish I could have been there for that one.
Yeah, I know.
If you Google Lane Smith, you might be led to believe that our guy was a children's book illustrator as well as an actor. But no, that's a different Lane Smith. Our Lane Smith.
He's got good stories, though. It could be, he could have been.
He could have been an author.
I want to see his movie about the Challenger.
Yeah, he's been a bunch. He was in a sort of after-school special / TV movie called Something About Amelia, which also starred Roxana Zoll, who will later play Lucy Lane. And Roxana actually won like an Emmy for that role. I had this whole list of movies I intended to watch, got around to watching My Cousin Vinny. So here we are.
Good choice.
Well, sadly, Lane Smith died from complications of ALS on June 13th, 2005. But we will always appreciate everything that he gave us, the humor, the wonderful Southern charm, the Elvis stories galore, the terrible romantic advice, and sometimes questionable decisions. Lane Smith, we love you.
Yes, so good. He's my favorite Perry White of all time.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. If you are joining us on our rewatch journey, our next will be Season 2, Episode 6, Operation Blackout. That'll be coming in 4 weeks. And something very special is happening in 2 weeks. We have an exclusive interview with one of the actors from the show. We are so excited to share that with you. If you'd like a few hints on who it's going to be, pay attention to our Instagram, and we can hardly wait to share that with you 2 weeks from now.
You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Facebook as Folks Forever. That's FOLCS FOREVER. Or you can visit our website at folksforeverpod.wixsite.com/podcast. And until next time.
Nobody's perfect, son. How about a piece of pie?
But, boop, Clark pushes a button and
Nope.
Howie. What?
No.
Or no, not Clark. Church. Church. Sorry, I read it wrong. Church. Okay. See, look at I'm not even reading
Clark's
your thing. I'm
killing
just
people.
Clark.
Man. Clark took a turn.
Knocking over parking meters.
Sorry, everybody. Molly's losing it. Okay.
Fight it.
Sorry, guys.
Fight it.
Fight it. Don't listen.
Wrong is right.
Sorry, guys.
And rewind.